We've all been there, right? Those moments where we just lose our cool, where our emotions completely take over. But what if you had like an operating system for your mind? A clear set of instructions to help you stay in control, even when things get really intense. Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to break down. A super powerful framework for hacking your own calm.
You know, we usually think our biggest battles are with stuff happening outside of us, a crazy project at work, a tough conversation. But this quote right here, it totally flips the script. It says the real enemy isn't the problem out there, it's the chaos in here. The whole idea is simple, but it's a game changer. If you can master your inner state, you can navigate pretty much any storm.
So, to get that control, we first have to understand why we lose it in the first place. You know, when we react automatically in ways we kind of regret later? That's not a character flaw, it's actually a biological process. It's a hijack, and it's happening inside our own heads.
Yeah, there's a scientific name for that moment you snap. It's called an amygdala hijack. This is when your brain's ancient, built-in alarm system literally yanks the steering wheel away from your modern, rational mind. At that point, you're not driving anymore. You're just a passenger on a pure survival mode ride.
Okay, this slide breaks down the two key players in your brain perfectly. On one side, you've got the amygdala. Think of it as a panicked security guard. It's running on ancient hardware, it's super fast, and to it, every single problem looks like a life-threatening lion. Then, on the other side, you have the prefrontal cortex, the calm CEO. It's modern, it's logical, and its job is to say, whoa, hold on, that's just an angry email, not a lion. The hijack happens when that guard screams so loud that the CEO gets locked out of the office.
So, how do we get the CEO back in charge? Well, this framework gives us two strategic ways in. There's a top-down hack, where we use our mind and our thoughts, and then there's a bottom-up hack, where we use our body's own hardware to send a calm signal straight up to the brain. Let's start with the top-down approach. This is all about installing better mental software for our CEO. And honestly, one of the most robust, time-tested operating systems ever designed for the human mind comes from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. Okay, the core of Stoicism is so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It's called the Dichotomy of Control, and it teaches that the only thing in the entire universe you have absolute command over is your own response. Everything else, what other people say, the traffic, the weather, is external. It's outside your control. So your suffering doesn't actually come from the traffic jam, it comes from your judgment that the traffic jam is a total disaster. Just getting that one distinction right stops the panicked guard from freaking out over things you can't change anyway. But look, sometimes you don't have time to sit and reason with that panicked guard. You just need to shut the alarm off, like right now. And that's where the bottom-up approach comes in, using your body's physical hardware to send a direct all-clear signal straight to your brain.
So here we have two amazing tools for two totally different missions. For an emergency shutdown, when you're already in a panic, you use 4-7-8 breathing. That long 8-second exhale is the magic ingredient. It activates something called the vagus nerve, basically telling your body to chill out and rest and digest. But to maintain your cool during a stressful situation, you use box breathing. This is what Navy SEALs famously use. Its balanced rhythm keeps you stable and focused. Think of it like this. One is a fire extinguisher, the other is like fireproofing yourself.
Okay, so once you have the tools to manage your own internal state, that calmness stops being just a defensive shield. It actually becomes an active, powerful tool you can use in your social interactions, on the battlefield of everyday life. And this gives us three really powerful social techniques. First, the power of silence. It just uses our natural uncomfortableness with awkward pauses to your advantage. Then there's emotional aikido, where you absorb someone's anger with empathy. A simple, I hear you, before redirecting their energy. And this last one, this is my favorite. Becoming the external PFC. In a chaotic meeting where everyone's losing it, your calm brain can literally become the rational CEO for the entire group. You're basically stopping that emotional virus from spreading.
But it's not all so straightforward. There are some really popular techniques out there that are actually kind of misleading. And there's a much deeper, more dangerous trap that lies in our very motivation for wanting to be calm in the first place.
Let's talk about one of the most famous body hacks out there, the power pose. We've all seen the TED Talk, right? The idea that just by standing like a superhero for 2 minutes, you can fundamentally change who you are. So the original 2010 study made this huge claim that the pose could actually change your body chemistry, boosting testosterone and lowering the stress hormone cortisol.
But now, after a decade of other scientists looking into it, what does the science really say?
Well, the short answer is nope. It doesn't work. At least, not in the way we were told. The hormone effect became a famous victim of the replication crisis, which just means that when other scientists ran bigger studies, they couldn't get the same result. Now, what it can do is create a powerful placebo effect through something called embodied cognition. Your brain reads your confident posture and thinks, hey, I must be feeling confident. So it's a useful mental trick for sure, but it's not a biological hack.
And this leads us to maybe the most profound question in this entire breakdown. Why do you want to be calm? Is it to win? To control other people? To dominate arguments? Or is it to awaken, to see reality more clearly, and just let go? Because here's the thing, using calmness just to win only makes you a more skilled prisoner inside the matrix. Real freedom comes from using it to understand the game itself, not just to play it better.
And achieving that kind of awakened calm isn't some one-off trick. It's a skill, just like learning an instrument. It takes consistent, daily discipline that, through neuroplasticity, literally rewires the neural pathways in your brain. You are physically changing your brain. So here's a super actionable plan for that daily discipline. It's a 25-minute routine. Step 1, no phone first thing. You have to protect your amygdala from that early morning information assault. Then, 10 minutes of box breathing to calibrate your nervous system. 5 minutes of posture, not for the hormones, but just to get that feeling of confidence going. And finally, 10 minutes of mental rehearsal, using those Stoic ideas to plan your calm response for the day ahead. It's like sharpening your axe every single morning.
And what you're really building towards with that daily practice is a fundamental shift. You start to move from a place where calmness is a tool that you use to a place where calmness is just a part of who you are. It's a state of being where you're calm not because you're trying to win, but because you've truly let go of the need to.
So we'll leave you with that question to think about. As you practice these techniques, what's your true aim? Is it to conquer the world around you, or to let go of the need to control it in the first place? The choice is all yours. Thanks for watching.